How you doing?
Hey, Bertha. And then you have to let me share the screen.
Okay. Did you want me to run the app? Because I have it.
Well, unfortunately, oh, so you have the slide, deck?
Mhm.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you can run it then. That's fine.
Okay.
And then I can just say next slide if
Okay.
you want.
Okay. So who's Ramirez T? Isn't that your cousin, Tony?
Yeah, it's me, Jovi.
Okay. You changed it?
I got on my computer this time instead of my phone.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering.
Usually I'm part of the iPhone family, as Dr. Phillip likes to say.
Yes. Hey, cuz. I'm kidding.
Hi, Rita. How are you?
Good. And yourself?
I'm okay.
That's good.
So just tell me when you're ready, Jovi.
I'm ready, Doctor. You're ready.
Okay. Can you go to full screen?
Full screen. Let me see.
Yeah, and do it. So if you click on slideshow at the top, so the to your right, there you go. So click on that. And then click on from beginning all the way to the left. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. And then you can either use the enter key or the if you have like a right arrow key on your keyboard, you can use that to kind of advance things.
Okay.
Cool. Very cool. So since this is our first formal Eventbrite event, that's kind of redundant, I'll just give a little bit of an introduction about myself. I've been practicing medicine, which is bad. You think I would get it straight after 30 years. I've been practicing medicine, and my board certification is in family practice. I have a fellowship in sports medicine. My whole career has been primarily musculoskeletal medicine, integrative, and functional medicine. I'm currently working in a day job as a medical director for a large entertainment company. And then I'm the past president of the American Osteopathic Academy of Sports Medicine, which is the oldest primary care sports medicine group in the country. Currently the chief medical officer for the industrial athlete, where we provide on-site care for injuries for individuals at large corporations from Ford to CDW, construction companies and warehouse distribution companies. And I'm also the founding member of the medical advisory board for CTFO. So that's a little bit of a background of myself. So this way you kind of know where I'm coming from. Next slide, Jovi. So we'll start off with a really quick overview. There's about 10 slides. We'll go through these really quickly. Jovi can get this out to you later on, but it'll just kind of give us a foundation. So there's a lot of different ways to determine what obesity is. And the classic gold standard is doing a type of DEXA scan, which is a whole body scan, and it can look at visceral fat versus fat that is around the body, not around the organs. The visceral fat, the ones that's around the organ, that's the one that is more of a marker of inflammation and more of a risk factor. There's ways to estimate it. One is body mass index, looking at your height and weight. then there is waist circumference, and then the waist to hip ratio. Next slide. So we've always talked about this. There's an epidemic of obesity, and unfortunately, the country as a whole is getting more obese year over year. And these past 2 years of pandemic, hence COVID-19, because people gained about average 19 pounds, it is not very good for the whole obesity endemic. And it talks in there about the number of people, the costs. It's a huge problem, no pun intended. Next slide. So this is kind of revolutionary. And this is a little bit about what we talk about in the diabetes group, in that classically people think that obesity is just about overeating, and it's not really just about overeating and eating excess calories. It's how the brain is wired. So it's really a dysfunctional aspect of the brain. Next slide. So this is a boiled down summary in one slide, and it's essentially the fuel gauge in your body, the brain, is full. However, the brain kind of looks at it oddly or misappropriately as being empty. So the brain thinks that there's not enough fuel. The body realizes that there's enough fuel, i.e. the fat stores, and as a result, people tend to overeat. So it's not necessarily a issue with maybe your body is consuming the wrong type of calories, which that's part of the issue. It's the brain hormone balance. Next slide. So we all know what an unhealthy diet is. If you've listened to Jovi for a minute, she'll tell you what an unhealthy diet is. And this is just a bad picture of what an unhealthy diet is. Next slide. So who's at the highest risk? Anyone in the Western kind of Western world, which that means the Americas, primarily the United States. Next slide. Lowest risk are people that are not consuming a traditional Western style diet. Next slide. So classically, when you think about lifestyle medicine, it really points people to a plant-based diet. So while that is maybe the best advice, it's probably not the most practical. But we'll kind of set our standards high and then kind of go from there. So in this type of food pyramid, the high-fat whole foods would also include things that are lean proteins that come from animal-based. So that would be things like fish, chicken, turkey. But for the sake of a pure lifestyle intervention, it's going to be heavily weighted or kind of steer people towards a plant-based diet. Next slide. So this is what a whole food kind of plant-based plate would look like, where it says the plant proteins. That's where most people would probably replace it with some type of high-fat fish. So that means salmon or tuna or something like that, which has good omega-3 fatty acids. Next slide. So here's all the benefits. I'm not going to belabor the point because, again, if you've listened to Jovi, she'll tell you all the health benefits of a good lifestyle. And that's going to be reiterated in the next slide. And here's just more benefits. Again, the bottom line is the healthier the diet you consume, the better off your body is at not storing as much fat. Next slide. This is a comparison over the different studies that have been done over the decades. And in general, the more kind of plant-based you are, the better chances you're going to have with maintaining a healthy body mass index, which means a healthy weight and a healthier lifestyle. Next slide. Next slide, Joby. Did I lose you? Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Next slide.
It's not going through, Dr. Phillip.
Oh, really? Okay. So the next slides.
Oh, there it
There
goes.
we go. There
Sorry.
you go. Okay. So the next slide shows what happens if you do nothing, which is the placebo. If you add a drug like metformin, and the whole diabetes group knows about metformin, or lifestyle. So lifestyle is even better than drugs. And again, this is what lifestyle has kind of shown, and this is what Joby has kind of promoted for your whole time with her. Next one. So there's a lot of emphasis on ketosis or intermittent fasting. This is a real busy slide, but the bottom line is the lower the amount of grams of carbohydrate you try to consume, the more you're going to get into ketosis, and the better off you're going to be at trying to get into the fat metabolism, which is going to help with reducing the fat weight. It's going to help to promote better brain hormones, and it's going to help to kind of reset that set point in your brain as far as where that fuel gauge is. Next slide. So how do you do that? There's a couple ways to do that. You can do it again through everything that we've talked about through with Joby, or there's some meal replacement type of things that you can do. One of them is the extreme shake that we try to promote because it's well balanced, and it also helps the brain to think better. And that's the whole idea of that sensorial component. So some people talk about this as kind of brain hacking, if you will, in order to get the brain hormones to work better. And that's the advantage of trying to fuel your body with better foods. This just kind of accelerates the process, if you will. Next slide. The other way to do a brain hack is through the shape and burn, because through all the 14 different synergistic products, it specifically works on the satiety center, the part of your brain that says, hey, I'm feeling full. It also works on the centers within the gut, the hormone levels. It acts fast, it lasts throughout the day, and it also helps out with your feeling of not only feeling full, but also it helps to keep you a little bit more focused. And there's several ways to add this in. Some people will take one capsule in the morning and then another one in the midday. Some people, like myself, I'll take 2 in the middle of the day. And that's because I like my coffee in the morning. So if I have coffee and this, then I'm a little bit too kind of amped up in the morning. So I like to have kind of like a smooth release, if you will, or a smooth energy level throughout the day. So I'll do 2 capsules in the middle of the day. Next slide. The other reason why I don't use the Shape and Burn in the morning is because I'll use coffee and the keto creamer first thing in the morning. So I'll do my exercise program, and then after the exercise program, I'll have coffee with the keto creamer, because the keto creamer with its ingredients help to kind of sustain and boost that fat metabolism. And then on top of that, you add a protein meal replacement like the Extreme Shake, and now you're kind of rounding out a program to help the body to burn fat better, to metabolize fat better, to get the brain thinking better, and then help the body work throughout the whole day. Next slide. So this is kind of like the whole program in one, if you will. And this is everything that we just kind of talked about. And I think the final slide is just me again. So that's the whole thing in a nutshell. And this is something that will be either posted, right, Joby? Or you can send out via email for those people that wanted to have at their side as a reference, if you will, anytime. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, so does anyone have any questions, or maybe something that you're going through that maybe Dr. Phillip can elaborate for you? Or how about Alma? Alma,
Yes,
how are you doing today?
I am doing good. I'm actually sorry if you hear any background noise at the gym right now. So I'm actually on the treadmill. So, and I'm listening at the same time. Uh, so yeah, I don't really have any questions.
So are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to
Oh,
just health in general, or do you have
well,
something in particular for you where you either have a health condition or whatnot?
I do not as of yet do not have a health condition. So far, um, I've lost 7 pounds. And how I'm doing that is I actually, my doctor recommended me to do a study with West University, which it's a metabolic syndrome study. So basically, um, so far I've been going there for a year. So basically, they teach you how to cook healthy, how they give you all kinds of recipes to cook without salt. So basically, um, you know, different spices to cook that give you the taste. So, and it basically talks about having your perfect plate, which is mostly fruits, and then your portion of protein or whatever you want to put on your plate. And mostly your plate should be vegetables. When I say fruits, sorry, vegetables. Um, vegetables. So yeah, and that's been working for me so far, losing the weight. But I actually wanted, um, like a shake in the morning. Or, I mean, would this be considered like a meal replacement? Sure.
For the
shake that
protein shake?
yes or no?
Yes, it would be a meal replacement, right, Dr. Phillip?
Exactly. And I have a real busy schedule myself, so I use it as a meal replacement for lunch too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
the
that's real.
benefits from the Extreme Shake, it has ashwagandha, it has probiotics, and it also helps with fat, what is it? Your fat metabolism as well.
Exactly.
So it's a whole round about ashwagandha is really good. I know I was working with Dr. McCullough and he recommended ashwagandha a lot. So anything that has ashwagandha in there, what are some benefits? I know it it helps with sexual health as well, ashwagandha, and then it also helps with your overall body. So can you
Yes.
explain a little bit about that, Dr. Phillip?
Yeah, so if you can you go back to that slide?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's a real powerful slide. And then maybe later on you can share that with Alma, and then she can use it as a reference. I think it was kind of like you can just scroll down from here.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. It's number 16. There you go. Yeah. So here's all the benefits from brain type things for focus, to energy, to helping with sleep, fatigue and stress and tension. And then on the weight reduction side, better carb metabolism. It increases the metabolism, helps out with appetite control, helps out with fat burning, and satiety. So those are the kind of like weight reduction things. And then what Jovi was speaking to helps out with the immune, joint health, cardiac function. And then on the other side, it can help out with recovery. And there's, it seems like they're coming up with new and um, different ways that ashwagandha helps out with the body. But the way that we see it and the way that we use it is primarily for the weight management aspect of it.
Oh,
And then maybe you can set up a time with Jovi um, when you're, you're off the treadmill, and you can have a little bit better conversation with her.
okay, then yeah, that sounds good. I actually for this study, it's called the ELM study that I'm in. They give you a Fitbit, and then you have to do at least 10,000 steps a day. So and they actually the study lasts for another year, and then I go every 6 months for my blood work, my weight, to check my waist circumference. So far, it has been working in just changing your whole eating habits,
Mhm.
um, and then just putting in uh, those steps. So I've been trying to do, instead of 10,000, I've been trying to do steps a day. So as well as I get on the treadmill, do a little cardio, and then do weight training. So, and like I said, I have lost 7 pounds, so I feel
Good for
great.
you. Yeah.
So anything that that I can say to kind of not, I would say not to just something to keep up with, trying to have some shapes that are healthy, so it can help me, uh, overall help my overall health. Because I think that's important.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And Alma, how long did it take you to lose those 7 pounds?
Oh,
If you don't mind me asking.
let's see. I started this study a year when COVID, after 2020, I started this study. And in 2020, so yeah, I would say about a year. Because it was very hard for me
Yeah.
to, I mean, it's like you're very, very busy and want to eat out. It was really hard for me to do. And then with them showing me how to, cook what to use, or how much portion to eat, or what are you supposed to eat. I think that helped me out. So 7 pounds, I would say about 7 pounds within a year. I mean, it's not like, quickly. I expected to be more, but again, I wasn't doing my part.
Okay.
So now I'm
So,
kind of consistent.
okay. So I want to ask Diane to give a little bit of a testimony because of just the protein shake itself from the Extreme Shake. Diane, can you explain a little bit in detail how much you've lost with just taking the protein or the Extreme Shake?
I don't want to be put on the spot, but I'll say
Sorry.
something.
No, but
Well,
because you have a good testimony and I don't have Alice here. Alice
Okay.
is another one too. And I know both of you have started the Extreme Shake and love it. So
well,
just
I use it
elaborate a
more
little
like
bit for
my
Alma.
snack. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Mostly because it's difficult me to eat a lot of protein. Every time I look at what I eat, I don't need enough protein.
Mhm.
So I use that more for that. I know, like,
How much have
it
you
does.
lost? Because I remember we started with you and you started losing at least 2 pounds every week to a pound a week. So maybe like
Yeah,
4 pounds a
it goes.
month,
It
maybe?
goes. Yeah, it goes like a little bit up and down, but
Mhm.
I want to say at least like in total maybe like 6 pounds.
Okay.
But that's when I know that I go up, it's just because I probably ate something I was not supposed to. But yeah, no, I do use the shake for that. The other thing I was looking at, it was the keto. I'm like, okay, I have to read up on that. The keto creamer.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other thing too with me, like I can use the stuff with the oil, with the CBD oil.
Well, this
'Cause
one,
it's like, yeah,
the keto creamer doesn't have any CBD
okay,
in it.
that's what I was gonna look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have it. So the keto
Mhm.
creamer is good, and that one enhances weight loss as well and your metabolism, right, Dr. Phillip?
Yeah, it does. Fat metabolism, and it helps trying to keep you in ketosis.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, it's just
So
something I'll probably look into because I like coffee.
Yeah.
What if you're not a coffee drinker? I'm not a coffee drinker, so I prefer teas. Do you
I
have teas? Or
No, we don't have a tea product, but you can easily use the keto creamer, and you can literally use it in any beverage you want. So if you put it in tea, then it's kind of like what do you call that? Like a chai latte or something like that.
So I use
okay.
it for like a green tea. I'll do a green tea and then I'll put the keto creamer in there. And that's really delicious. I've enjoyed that a lot.
There you go.
So if you're looking, like the green tea is also good for you.
Okay.
So, Alma, you just don't like the flavor or taste of coffee, or just not a coffee drinker?
Uh, I'm not a coffee drinker. I actually quit drinking coffee about a year ago,
Okay.
and I prefer tea. Um, like if I go to a restaurant for breakfast, I'll have like coffee, but it's not. I I don't drink it every day. Like once, I don't, yeah, not that I don't like it. I just
Mhm.
I don't know what. Just stop drinking it.
Okay. The reason why I asked is there is a vanilla latte that really doesn't taste like coffee. It just tastes like a vanilla beverage. And then if you really want to help out with the ketosis, then you add a keto creamer in there, and it's just like a vanilla dessert, really. Um, but you still get all the boost of the caffeine, so you get the metabolic activity of the caffeine. So that might be something you can try, and you can even sample it.
Oh, okay. Now, what's the name of it again?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
What was the name of the, the beverage you were talking about?
Yeah, it's a vanilla latte.
Okay.
Vanilla latte. And then Jovi can talk to you about that later on.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Very cool.
thank you.
You're me.
Dr.
I'm
Phillip?
okay.
Okay, yeah, now I can, I have a
Hi,
question.
Bertha.
I'm trying to get my daughter on,
Uh-huh.
to learn more about the extreme shake and the shape and burn.
Mhm.
Now, on the extreme, the shake, how often can she take it? Can she take it 3 times a day or?
Well,
Or-
yeah, it's meant to be a meal replacement. And the whole idea is to try to mimic a healthier lifestyle with whole foods. So the meal replacement is for people that are trying to accelerate weight reduction. So, I mean, theoretically, you could use it 3 times a day, but that's not really kind of fostering healthier lifestyles. So it's really up to her as far as how quickly she wants to accelerate the weight reduction and how she wants to kind of combine that with the whole lifestyle adjustment, if you will.
Okay, because I'm just asking, because she works at a daycare.
Mhm.
So sometimes she says she doesn't have time to eat her lunch because of all these whole bunch of kids she has to take care of. And she's like, and sometimes I get so hungry that by the time I get home, she says she eats a lot because she didn't eat, through the rest of, or the whole day. So that's what she was asking me. And I said, well, I think you can, but you know what? Let me ask Dr. Phillip.
No, you definitely can. And so I take or consume 2 a day.
Too.
It's breakfast and lunch. Um, Lunch is always just because my clinic is really busy and I don't have time for lunch. So it's really easy for me to just drink that down. Breakfast because it's convenient. So yeah, twice a day is no big deal. And then dinner is usually a big salad and some type of lean protein, usually chicken, turkey, fish, or some type of a lentil bean type of protein.
Okay. And then she was also telling me, because she was looking at the ingredients, she's like, ask them about the stevia, Mom, because I'm looking at mine, because I have mine. I didn't even know. She's like, I thought stevia is bad for you. And
No,
I said, well, I didn't even know. She's like, you didn't even look at the ingredients? I'm like, no, because it was good. So I drink it, I take it, and then she's allergic to peanuts. So with this, because it has nuts, would it,
I didn't think it had nuts in it.
well, it says it has nuts. It says milk, soy, eggs, nuts, and wheat
So,
on the chocolate one.
so does it say that it has nuts or it's made in a plant where they also make that?
Well, it says here let me see. Manufacturing a facility that processes milk, soy, eggs, nuts, and wheat.
Yeah,
So,
so it's sorry. Go ahead, Dr. Phillip.
so there are people that are so sensitive that they have an anaphylactic reaction to foods. And even if something they consume touches another workstation or processing station, they can have an anaphylactic reaction. So it doesn't have nuts in there, but for people to have an anaphylactic reaction to nuts, they probably shouldn't consume it. but if she just has a sensitivity to, maybe it makes her feel bloated or something like that, she should probably be okay.
Okay, because she literally, when she eats peanuts or anything that contains her, she says her throat, she feels like her throat is closing.
Yeah, so she shouldn't consume that.
No? Okay, see, and that's what she had asked me. And I'm like, well, you know what? Let me ask Dr. Phillip and find out. But
Yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, maybe just a little bit. She's like, well, no, mom, because my throat closes. So I'm like, oh,
So,
all right.
I'd be willing to bet my professional license that it's not going to affect her. However, everybody is different. So I wouldn't want to take the chance.
Okay, well then maybe I can give her some of a little bit of mine so that way, and then I'll tell her, to blame it on me. But she was just asking because she's like, well, I see it's here nuts. So remember what happens to me. And yeah, it literally, like, she'll feel like her throat is closing. One time that happened, and we were going to take her in because she said she couldn't, breathe.
Yeah, so my professional recorded opinion would be no, but what you do on your own is up to you.
Okay, well then, then maybe I can tell her on the shape and burn then.
Yeah.
Get her on that.
Because I don't believe, there's any type of disclaimer about it being processed in a plant that also processes soy, nuts, or anything like that. And it should say it on the package if it does.
Okay, well, because she noticed, so I'm like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even notice.
Yeah.
Because
You have to
didn't
say
just
that.
I'm like, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I just thought it's good. I had told her, I go, it's really good, actually. So I use it in the morning as a replacement for my breakfast. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So my professional recorded opinion would be no. What you do on your own is up to you.
Okay, well then maybe, I don't know. Then maybe I'll have her try something else. But before she tries anything else, I can tell you, is this good for her, or,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And then on this shape and burn too, she also asked me, she was going to get on, but she had to work late.
Mhm.
Now, she says, okay, if I take it, mom, and I get it on it and I start losing, and then say, a week or two, I stop using it, will I gain all that weight back again?
Yeah. So the whole idea, remember that one fuel gauge picture? The whole idea is to kind of reset the brain. And sometimes people can't do it on their own through lifestyle modification, and they need an external kind of boost or a jump start. And that's what this does. So it helps with jump starting and kind of recalibrating or resetting the brain. So as long as she builds a foundation of good, healthy habits, then she shouldn't kind of fall off the wagon, if you will, because she already developed the healthy foundation.
Okay. Okay, I'll let her know. And then it's up to her then if she wants to
Yeah.
do it.
But to answer the original question, stevia is a plant. And as a result, it's probably the best plant-based sweetener that you could use because it's plant-based. It has virtually no calories. So I haven't seen anything in the literature that says it's bad. And most natural sweeteners will use some form of stevia.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll let her know because I know she brought that up to my attention too. Because she's
Yeah.
been doing some research.
Yeah.
And then when she was telling me all this, I'm like, oh, it does. And I didn't even know. And she's like, yeah, look into it. And then I started reading First Extreme Shake.
Yeah.
And then the Shape and Burn, well, I don't have, information. I had it, but then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll look into it and I'll find out. I'll ask Dr. Phillip
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
asked me, that in case you do fall, like she does. She has a habit of she'll do it good and in the beginning, and then she just like, I have to eat this now. I got to eat a hamburger. I got to eat all, and she's like, I don't want to. Oops, I don't want to gain it back. Like double.
Yeah, so everything is in moderation, right? So
Yeah.
80% of the time, you're healthy, if you will, and you're following that good lifestyle, functional medicine type of approach. And 20% of the time, you're not so healthy. But that's okay. Just as long as that 20% of the time, it's maybe a slice of pizza as opposed to half the pizza. So everything has to be in moderation, even in that 20% of the time.
And that's what I told her. I'm like, if you eat with the foods with moderation, you can cheat. I mean, I'm not saying no, but just eat, maybe a small burger instead of a big one,
Yeah.
I thought so.
And psychologically, we try not to use the word cheat. It's more kind of like you're rewarding yourself, or it's a special occasion, something like that. Because if you think of it as kind of like a cheat day, then most people will really go off the deep end and not do real well. So if you look at it as rewarding yourself, then you're not going to reward yourself with half the pizza. It's going to be maybe a slice of the pizza.
Okay.
And to say something also, I honestly believe if you change the eating habits, you won't gain that weight back, but and then stay active. I mean, that's what it has helped me stay active. Trying to eat healthy. And again, I'm not going to say that I don't have a pizza. The pizza is my favorite. I love pizza. I don't have a slice versus 4 slices that I used to have, 4 or 5. So I'll, like you said, Doctor, you reward yourself. Have a pizza. It's okay to have a pizza. If you want to enjoy a hamburger, go ahead, enjoy a hamburger, but in moderation. And I think the key here is portion control. So
Yeah.
as far as I don't think the shakes, and this is my opinion, I don't think the shakes will. You can have 2 shakes a day, but if you're still not changing your eating habits, of course you're gonna gain the weight back. I mean, I've seen it, people. So I think the whole thing is just changing the eating habits.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Alma. Yeah.
Mhm.
And even when you reward yourself with that hamburger, for example, I live in Reno, and every once in a while, I mean, it's not even every once in a while, it's probably like twice a year, I'll go to In-N-Out, and I'll have it, I think it's called protein style, something like that. In other words, they wrap the burger in lettuce.
Yeah,
because
that is good.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can even reward yourself a little bit healthier than other ways. So, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I know Jim and I make the hamburgers like that, right, Jim? I know when I was in San Diego, I made it with bacon. So I put like 2 slices of bacon in my little hamburger, and I
Yeah.
put some guacamole. So I normally try doing high protein and a lot of fat as well.
Mhm.
And I know that's helped me out a lot. And so it's helped Jim as well, right, Jim? Especially with some of
Yes.
our recipes.
Yes. I do the burgers without the buns.
Mhm.
That's all it is. And I'll make my cheeseburgers, and like you say, you add the bacon. I don't have ketchup. You use salsa or something like that. That's a little, and it has more vegetables and less sugar. That's all you look for, is the less sugar, the less carbs.
Yeah, exactly right.
And you don't miss it. Instead of using a hamburger bun, you use a knife and a fork,
Yeah.
and you're getting the same flavor.
Mhm.
It's delicious. It really is delicious.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You know, I actually do it like that too, Dr. Phil, but sometimes I miss the bun. I do. And when when I'm with my cousins and I'm like, oh, these people are eating with bun. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm doing it just one time. And then I'll
That's
get with
fine.
the bun because
Yeah,
I'm like, I miss the bun.
yeah, and that's
I
fine.
don't eat so much bread. But
Mhm.
when we have that time when we like, okay, let's go get a burger. And I'm like, okay. And then sometimes I order without the bun. But when I see them eating, I'm like, oh, that looks so good. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Change it to the bun for, just for that day.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So,
Mhm.
okay.
Exactly, exactly. Good
I
deal.
got
Okay. Well, I
one
know
question
then
for
about
you,
all
Doctor.
this. And then I'll get back to you, Dr. Phillip, or I'll
Yeah,
talk to Joby too as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
So,
That's good.
okay.
One
Awesome.
last question.
Go ahead, Alma.
Okay. And this is just a question. For how much can a woman consume sugar in a day? And the
None?
reason why I'm asking because uh, there is, I have a friend who takes the Herbalife shakes, okay, as meal replacement. But I was reading the ingredients, and it has about 10 grams of sugar. I think that's a lot. What's your opinion on it?
So we try to avoid not only sugar, but we try to avoid foods that turn into sugar. And that's what's referred to as the glycemic index. So, not to pick on Bertha, but that hamburger bun, um, a traditional hamburger bun has a pretty high glycemic index of about 100. And we try to consume foods that have a glycemic index less than 55. So it's not just sugar, but it's foods that turn into sugar. And the reason why that's important is we want to keep the insulin level in your body as low as possible, because the lower you keep your insulin level, that means the less likely that your body is going to want to store calories as fat. And that's the other reason why the extreme shake helps out, because it has components that help out with sugar metabolism. So it helps your body to metabolize the sugar better. It helps to keep the insulin level lower. So this way your body isn't prompted to store calories as fat. So sugar per se is not good, but in general, foods that have a high glycemic index isn't good. So that's why um, most of the foods should be more vegetable based, because vegetables really turn into sugar slower. And the glycemic index of vegetables is around 20, 25, which is far lower than 55. And in that one slide, if you're trying to maximize ketosis, you want to keep your grams of sugar below 40. So if one meal has 10, depending on how strict your grams are, you've either consumed half of what you're going to consume in a day, or maybe 25%. So sugar is not a good thing.
That's what I thought. Because and this person, like, she shows me pictures of, people who've lost a lot of weight. And then, like, then if you look at their labels, they have like 10 grams. And I'm like, wait a minute. So if someone has, let's say, 3 shirts a day, that's about 30 grams of sugar. And so it's like you mentioned, you have to be careful on the food that you eat also that turns into sugar. So to me, that's a lot of sugar.
You're right.
So yeah, so that's why I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna try this. Because I'm really careful in reading um, labels now, which I
Mhm.
wasn't before. I was I really didn't know how to read labels. So now I know how to read labels and what to look for.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Oh, Dr. Phillip, I had another question on the shape and burn.
Mhm.
Can I take the shape and burn and just take one capsule?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
some people do well with just one. Some people need to take one in the morning, one at a different time of day. Some people will just take one in the middle of the day. In general, you probably don't want to take it any later than 2 or 3 o'clock because it does rev up your metabolism and it may disrupt your sleep cycle. But we usually tell people to start off with just one.
okay.
So this shake and burn, is that a pill or what is that?
Yeah, it's a capsule that has a variety of ingredients in it, 14 different ones. And again, it's in that slide deck that Jovi can send to you that help out with not only boosting your metabolism, helps out with sugar metabolism, helps out with kind of resetting the brain hormones, giving you better focus, clearer focus, satiety, so it makes you feel full. So there's a variety of products in there that will help within minutes and then give you a sustained benefit throughout the next minimum 3 to 4 hours. Some people, it'll last all day.
Oh,
Can you also explain a little bit of how it actually helps start shaping the body a little bit? Like, for instance,
So,
like with me and Karen, how our bodies are changing in very toning back into shape, I guess you can say.
yeah, so good point. And sorry, I didn't say that. Hence the name Shape and Burn, because some people need to reduce weight and burn fat. Other people just need to kind of reshape their body, if you will, or alter their body composition. So our company did a pilot study, and I think there were about 50 people in that pilot study. My wife and I were both in that pilot study. We didn't really need to reduce weight, but we needed to kind of work on the body composition. I have access to a body composition device, so we actually saw our percent body fat change and drop and maintain our lean mass, the muscle mass. So what Jovi is trying to talk about is that some people really don't need to reduce fat weight. They really need to preserve the lean muscle mass and then kind of reshape their body and alter the body composition. And that's another added benefit with the shape and burn.
okay. I would like to, yeah, if Joey can send me information on that,
Yeah,
so I could look into it.
yeah, good deal,
Absolutely.
good deal. So I think we promised that we would keep this to an hour, and I want to honor everyone's time. So I think this. I guess I shouldn't give my opinion, but I thought it was pretty good with all the questions that we had. So hopefully you all got something out of it too.
Yes, we did.
Definitely, thank you, Dr.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I
Good
always
deal.
learn something new each day.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Joey. Thank you. Okay, so we'll regroup on Friday for the regular diabetes group. And then we'll be posting, well, actually, Jovi will be posting another Eventbrite for June, right? Because we're going to keep the same kind of time slot.
Mhm.
And then also for July 2nd for people that are in Chicago.
Yeah.
Cool.
So July 2nd, I know Bertha is going to be in town.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and then
hopefully
Diane
we'll do
also said that she would be coming in as well, right, Diane?
Yes.
Good deal. Good deal.
And Jim also said that he,
Have
Uh,
you sent us anything on this yet, Jovi?
I haven't gotten the location yet, Jim. I'm looking for a
What are
location.
you doing?
I know. I was waiting on a couple people that said that, they knew a couple people that could get me a place. So I was
Okay.
talking to Dr. Phillip about LaGrange, Illinois. And, they have office spaces and where I can actually prep food as well. So you guys can have something to eat while you come and see Dr. Phillip. So there's actual chairs and it's like a big old table, conference room table, and it's really nice.
Good deal. And you've also got the AV, right? Audio visual.
Yes,
Cool.
yes, they have that.
Very good. Very good. And then the only other thing, now that I just thought about it, if you want to record it, then I may need like a remote mic.
Okay.
So
I'll get one.
yeah, yeah. And preferably something that I could kind of clip
Clip on.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know I've been looking at those, a couple people have that for podcast. So
Yeah.
I'll look into it. I'll get some. Mhm.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So I'll have it, I think you and Karen are going to speak and also Christopher, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so we can easily hand it off. That's
Okay,
no big deal.
perfect.
Yeah, we don't each need one. We can just hand it off in
Okay.
between. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay,
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks for being part of our inaugural. Thanks, Jovi, for setting this up. This is pretty
Thank
cool.
you, Dr. Phillip.
You're very
you.
welcome. You're very welcome. Okay, everyone. See you on
All right.
Friday.
All right,
Bye, everyone.
bye. Thank you, Dr.
Bye.
Phillip.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.